Sorry about that, folks. I muted it to clear my throat, man. Anyway, tonight, the madness in Getty Square, and also the judge that's been appointed that no one's supposed to know has been appointed. I'm pretty bad with speaking politics. Sorry about that. My apologies. Yeah, I had muted it to clear my throat. I don't know. I'm getting like I'm getting phlegm. I don't know if I'm getting sick or whatever, but I was clearing my throat, and I don't know. I thought I hit the unmute button. I guess not. My apologies. But I was going back to. I'm just going to start over really quick. Again, our condolences to the mother of Zahi Jerris. She passed away. That's something that's been posted by Let's Get Political. And the reason why I mention it, and I want to mention it with all due respect, right? That's why I say my condolences, because again, I have some level of, dignity. And so I do want to say my condolences, may the Lord be with the family now in this time. And I wanted to point out, because Let's Get Political posted two now post about it. They're very, that it's almost like that's their friend, right? Their friend just lost a mother. And I'm saying that because it kind of further validates what I've been saying about the page. I think that the page is Zahi Jerris sanctioned. And I think that he's, hedging his bets. He wants Nader to be the next mayor. A lot of the Muslim community, and not just Muslim, there's a lot of Arab that are not Muslim community, want to see Nader Sayegh. I was speaking to a business owner just the other day, and they said this Egyptian business owner says, we support Nader. We want to see Nader. And so with all the opposition that's been coming at Mike Spano lately, and specifically the lawsuit in regards to the term limits that was filed by Michael Sussman, the world renowned, is he? At least he's very well known civil rights attorney. He's beat him once, maybe twice or more, and he's coming back to sue, and he is suing on the term extension. So by the end of the month, we can see an injunction issued by the judge, a federal judge, preventing Mike Spano from running for a fourth term. And so again, as I said, that if it happens, you will see everyone jumping up out of the woodwork, throwing their hat in the ring. You're going to need a big ring there. It's going to be a lot of hats. People don't want to go up against Mike Spano. They understand the machine that comes with that. There's the money, the supporters, there's the political operatives who will go at you. And though people like to say, well, the Spanos don't operate like that, they don't know about it. They absolutely know. They may not be directly involved, although I think there is one or two Spanos directly involved with that type of, tactics that are used where they attack people via Facebook like they've been doing me. It's nothing new what they're doing to me. A lot of people have had it done. And so they don't want to go against that. They'd rather not. Chill. I'm good. Nader Sayegh will love to run for mayor. Zahi Jerris will love to see him become mayor. They don't want to wait another 4 years. They don't have another 4 years. A lot could change in 4 years. Their power, their abilities, their connections and networks might not be the same. So I think that they're looking to try and, hedge their bets. They're attacking Mike Spano, helping flame the opposition or fan the flames of opposition, right? And counting on this lawsuit to create an injunction, because Nader Sayegh, they even said themselves, Let's Get Political, has the money and has the votes. But is that who people want, right? In this election, if we're not going to vote for Mike Spano, right, which, I'm hoping that we vote for change, nothing personal. And I think I'm doing Mike a favor by, telling people not to vote for him, actually, because I hear he does not want to run again, but he has to. There's a guy at the top there that has too many deals in play. You got to do it again, babe, bro. 4 more years, let's go. And Zahi Jerris was saying, I hope he runs again. I hope he runs again, before he announced it and they extended term limits. But I think that was all a front. And I even thought that then. I said, I think he's trying to sell us, and me and Vinny, who were there, on the idea that he wants to see the mayor again. But he really wants Nader Sayegh. And they were making a deal with Nader. Hey, can you give us your voter block or your voting base or your fan base to vote for the Spano machine? And we'll get you into the superintendent's chair, which is why they're trying hard to make Superintendent Dr. Quesada look bad. They've tried. I put a kibosh on that. Ever since I spoke out about it, they stopped it. No more articles in the Yonkers Tribune. Just saying. Although they try to have some people say this recently with the stabbing. But, they definitely want Nader DeSpano anyway as superintendent. Well, they want to try to give him that so they can get their voter base and they can do another 4 years. But he secretly would love to have Nader Sage become the mayor for the next 4 years here in the city of Yonkers. But again, if we're going to vote for anyone, it's going to be for change. We cannot have the same individuals in Yonkers, whether Spano or through Nader Sage, unless, of course, Nader Sage wants to sit down with me and talk, see how we can make an impact to the city and sell me on the idea of supporting you. Mike Spano's having a campaign kickoff event, although he's had fundraisers not too, in the past, month. One was recently thrown by Akeem Jamal, the guy who was driving drunk the wrong way down Central Avenue, hit a pothole and hit a car. The pothole didn't matter because he was drunk, he was speeding, and he was going in the opposite direction, which means that he actually went around the median that divides Central Avenue and hit a car at 4 a.m. However, like most people who live in the real world, that would have damaged their careers, right? But it didn't do that to Akeem. In fact, he got raises and even recommendations for jobs with Governor Hochul. I think, however, she found out about his past and she tossed him down to Governor's Island, where the local newspaper did a report on him saying, who the heck is this guy? Why is he coming here to do this? No experience, or something with the media there, no experience. Some issue he had over in Yonkers, they said, right? But he's a close ally of Mike Spano, so he threw him a fundraiser along with seems like his partner, because they hang out a lot, Jamal Ibrahim. And he's another interesting political operative. He is connected to the story I'm going to tell you about, the judge who's been appointed, but no one should know. So Mayor Spano had a fundraiser with those two dudes, and it's having another one at the Castle Royale. Had another one. It's over now. A big event, I hear. People are wondering what was going on. Did they bring out the lights again? I wonder if they had the lights. Well, they didn't have the firemen protesting this time. Mike Spano, who I hear the Spano family has some ownership allegedly in the Castle Royale, has thrown another big event. And they're saying, why is he doing so many so soon? Some are speculating that he's trying to get as much money before a judge quite possibly issues an injunction stopping him from running. So the supporters specifically, or i.e. the developers, they don't want to donate to somebody who can't run, right? So he's trying to get as much money as he can possibly, it said, so he can utilize it for their legal fees. So you hear that, developers? Hey, AMS, you guys got to be careful, man. Could be, investing in bad investment. You got to think about what might be happening come the end of this month. I would wait before donating any money. Let's see what the judge is going to say. Will there be an injunction? Because if so, you guys have to look for another candidate. That doesn't mean they're not out there. It just means that you have to maybe change your approach to the way you come into Yonkers. The people of the city would like to be involved in this progress and economic growth and all the hype and smiles and galas that you guys are attending. The rest of the people, the real world people, would love to be involved in that, because we are not Hollywood on the Hudson. We are everyday hardworking people who are seeing changes in our expenses here in Yonkers. And we're seeing many other changes that are not so, good. These potholes that are ridiculously crazy. Unbelievable. And they spoke about that in a meeting, which I'll get to in a minute. Folks, in Getty Square today, wow. I mean, am I not at the right place at the right times? Right? I think my luck's starting to change. I was there just as a group of individuals were running. And I knew I know to run, right? You guys know to run, right? You know to run when people are running that something's up, right? Let me know. Let me know. Hold on, real quick. Let me know when your mother dies. I will come and piss in the casket, you low life. You can give that message to your butt buddies, the low life caters too. Now, who would say that to me? Samuel. There was not no guy named Samuel Porcestein, whatever, right? Who would say that to me? Right? Who would? Is that you, Frank Jarris? I mean, I find it quite interesting, and not to get sidetracked, I'll get back to the madness in Getty Square, how these individuals think. They have no problems doing the most disgusting things to you during the worst of your times. They mentioned the Caters, but the Caters were going through a death when they were being attacked in the most disgusting ways. They were going through a death of a loved one who passed away because of COVID. You think that stopped them from attacking Mike Cater's wife, sending nasty messages to his neighbors? No. And then they have the nerve to show up to the funeral. Now I have 2 CPS cases because of you low-life losers. My family is impacted. My livelihood could be impacted. But you have no care in the world for that. And I wasn't disrespectful. I did send my condolences, and I genuinely meant that, because at the end of the day, I answer to God. That's who I fear. And so I would never do the devil's work like you folks have been. And there's so many people that you have been terrorizing and you have victimized. I'm not the only one. Many people here in the city of Yonkers. So, all is fair in love and war. Back to the madness in Getty Square. As I'm driving through, I see a bunch of individuals running. And like I said, you know that run, right? You know that run when people are running. You know something's up. Hold up, something's up. So I said, what's going on? And I see people being chasing these guys. That's what I noticed. I realized they're chasing them. And apparently some dude stole some stuff from a store there. And the owners have had enough. They're tired of getting robbed. And this is what I'm saying, to the police officer who called me the other day when Ruros called the cops for harassment, right? I told the lady, I said, you have to be proactive, right? This guy's going around harassing people. And he's had incidents where people have been, in his face, reacting aggressively out of emotions because they've lost a loved one. Here we go, right? They don't have no care in the world when you lose a loved one. This guy put a camera in your face and put your loved one on blast. He'll create a story about people's loved ones. And so I said, if somebody does something to him, but I made it very clear that it was not going to be me. I said, I'm not going to lose anything that I've worked for because of this guy. But I'm saying someone who doesn't have anything to lose will. And so you guys have to stop it. And so, like with the thefts that have been going on here in this Getty Square, because look, we're passing the supermarket. And you guys remember that incident where the 2 guys were stealing shrimp? They were stealing shrimp. And let me tell you, folks, from what I heard is that they were actually stealing it on behalf of a store or a restaurant that was cooking it to sell to their customers. So they had a client. Right? So they had a client. So I'm seeing these guys chasing. I start going with them because I said, I want to catch this and I want to show the people of the city of Yonkers what goes on here in downtown Yonkers, Getty Square.
West, Wild Wild West in Yonkers. Wild Wild, Wild West.
Can you guys hear the video? So the guy was running, and they caught up to him over there by the Veteran Affairs Department in La Piñata right there, but they didn't beat him up or nothing. They kind of just were upset. They pushed him to the ground. You couldn't hear the sound, but you can see the video. As long as you see the video, I'll tell you what happened. They were just chasing the guy. He stole something. He had it in the bag, but they didn't beat the guy up, right? They didn't, jump him and knock him out and do all this crazy stuff to him, and they just kind of pushed him to the ground. And then, other guys like, chill, don't even, don't do nothing to him. Don't, whatever. And so, but they're upset. They're upset. This is their livelihood. This is their business. People don't want their business messed with. They put money when you start a business, you invest money, right? So this is your business, and they are having these issues with people stealing in Getty Square. And so they chased the guy, but they didn't even get back the stuff. I mean, the guy had stuff in the bag. I'm like, yo, get the bag. You did all this, right? You guys ran all the way over here. And so the guy, and I think there's kind of this whole little operation these guys got, really, because as he then crosses the street into the daylighting area that they did there, Main Street, which, that's so great, right? That's what they did it for. So guys could cut through there after they rob stores, right? And so they cut through there, and he's like, yo, hey, yo, he's calling out. And all of a sudden I see other guys, these are young, and these are young guys. These are not, people, they're not even probably 30. And these are young guys. And then they start popping up out of everywhere. One coming behind the supermarket there, another one from the front. And then they all link up, and then they kind of just disappeared. They just disappeared. But he was calling them for help. So in case those guys came back, or, the store owners, now it was going to be the three of them versus whoever. And now we have a huge problem in Getty Square. I mean, what are we doing here? This is nothing new. This is nothing new. If you go in Getty Square every day, this is what you see every day. Every day. And they're not making people move. They're not. I mean, look, you have to do something, right? We have to help people, but you also have to help the business owners, right? So listen, either you're going to go and get this help, right, that we have now, created for you, and you have an opportunity to do that, or you got to go. But you can't stand here in front of this store. They stand in front of the stores all day long. There's a C.H. Martin, at the old McCory's, the 99-cent store. There's a barbershop there that I know the barber. I used to go there. I don't go there anymore. Actually, I just have him come to my office now because it's just too much going on there. And, there was an incident where a guy, robbed somebody. They chased him into that barbershop, and they beat him up and stabbed him there. Right. Well, I want to correct myself. It wasn't inside the barbershop, because he wanted me to be real specific about that. They don't want their clients to think that people are getting stabbed literally inside, but there's a set of stairs right at the bottom of the steps. But that's still, in an area where their clients have to eventually pass by if they're going to get their hair cut. And so how does that affect their business? I'm sure there are people that are just never going to go there because of it. The Dunkin' Donuts right there. I mean, literally, there'll be 3 or 4 people just hanging out inside the Dunkin' Donuts. And, I'm sure the owner's just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to fight these guys every day? And then they smoking the K2 stuff that just, and so they're all through the Getty Square area. And I personally just believe that they don't care because they want it to get so bad. So when they clean it all up and put those luxury developments in there after AMS is done, they're going to have justified why they did that. But ultimately, they're just going to have removed a group of people, remove those businesses, because they're not going to keep those businesses there. So they're not going to get to, benefit from the new people that are coming, because they're going to be forced out. They don't want your 99-cent store or your hip-hop jeans store, your check cashing place, the liquor store. I'm telling you, it's wine and spirits. You better change your sign if you want to stay. Better put wine and spirits on that sign, So that's what's all about. So they don't care, which is why they're not attending to it the way, you would think. Hey, we got to do something like, somebody help me. Maybe I don't understand something. Maybe I really just don't understand something. right? This is unbelievable how they just allowed it to, get this bad deteriorate so much. And they say the developments are supposed to be, bringing in all this economic progress and growth, but for who? For who? The only ones making money are the developers and the elected officials. That's it. Empire Strategic Planning is caking it up. That means getting a lot of money. They're making a lot of money with these client contracts that they got with AMS and Ginsburg. The attorneys, all the attorneys, real estate attorneys that are representing these developers at the planning board meetings and the zoning board meetings, the architects, they all making money. The owners of the subcontracting companies that are hiring, the immigrant guys, right? That are not union and maybe not American. And that's no disrespect. I'm just saying, because the point is that there are Hispanic Americans, there are Black Americans, right, and white Americans that are living here in Yonkers that are needing a job, and that they were promised a job when these developments and Lionsgate would come, and then there's nothing for them. And that's what's going on. And so unless we actually get active, right, and we decide to come out and vote and say enough is enough, start spreading the word, then for the most part, a lot of people are going to ultimately leave because they're not really done yet. They need another 4 years. This is a 10-year plan, right? So who knows? I mean, 4 years is not 10 years. So after the 4 years, you still got another 6. What does that mean? More term extensions? Is that what we're looking forward to? Until ultimately is a bunch of luxury developments, and this really just becomes like a transient city, Yonkers, where people come in temporary, they live here for a few years while they film movies and TV series, and then people come in to go to Syracuse, the school there that they're going to put with the film department and everything there. It's going to be a satellite campus, film school, the expensive Syracuse University that has ties to certain elected officials because that's their alma mater. They're going to be putting it over there where the old Leak and Watts was. Oh, that's right. I think they're also building a public school too that they're supposed to do with film and stuff there as well. That's what we were told anyway. But why did the city sell the land and allow Joe Carter to take the opportunity of making all the money there? The city should have took it. They should have bought it. Or did eminent domain and gave them half and said, we taking it, we need to build a new school. And guess what? We got so much land that we're going to allow Syracuse to put their satellite school here, campus here. And hey, Lionsgate, would you like to put a studio here? And then maybe you could work along with our kids and we'll give you a little bit of a discount on that rent. Imagine the rent roll on that. But no, they sold it to Joe Carter, the guy who said, I'm going to get the rent roll. It's my money. It's me. Let me get that. And our elected official said, why not? We don't care. We don't technically own the city. This is not really our company. We're not going to be here forever. Let's just make the money on it now and we out of here. Who cares if the city's making the money in rent roll for renting out or leasing out space on that land? That would have been the ideal thing. Or even keeping Chicken Island and building the stadium like Phil Lamacone wanted, because that would have provided jobs for people here in the area. That would have provided a reoccurring, revenue stream as people would come in for games and spend money. But no, we're going to have luxury developments when the people here need jobs. I mean, I don't get it. So this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to tell folks about this, and I'm getting beat up over here by these people left and right. They're coming at me with text messages, and false accusations. And I got two, I don't want to say, somebody said, don't say that no more, I won't say it no more. I'm just saying that they're coming at me very hard because I'm informing the people of the truth. So I want to say, people, please, don't allow them to make me look like the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy, and I'm not against the people. Not against Latinos, I'm not against Blacks, I'm not against anybody except for our elected officials who seem to be against us. That's just my opinion, right? I mean, so, I want to let people know how it works here because nothing is fair. Like I was telling, someone, what if you have a dream? What if you want to do something and you have goals, but you can't achieve those goals because you're being blocked because the way the system is set up is that you only can achieve that dream if you're allowed to, right? And what am I talking about? Dream of being an elected official, dream of maybe being a judge, right? But you can't because you're not selected by those that are in power that appoint people. You're not playing the game. You're not the chosen one. Doesn't matter if you've been dreaming about it since a kid. See, only some will get that opportunity to live out their dream. As Lakeisha Collins Bellamy said, the city council president, that becoming a judge is her and has been her dream. And she will get that dream realized when she does become a judge because she did what they wanted her to do, introduce the term limit extension. That's what she did. But they can't give it to her right away. So for now, they've appointed Alexandra Bessie. Who's Alexandra Bessie? Young attorney from Rockland County. Not originally from Yonkers, but from Rockland County. And she doesn't have as much experience as others who are hoping to have been selected. You have Beltran, more experience, and others. But she got selected. And why? Many are saying, why? Why did this young girl who doesn't have as much experience is the one that they have selected to become the next city court judge, taking Elena Goldberg's spot as she moves on up? Which, by the way, happened in similar fashion. She's a family and friend network or a Republican member. Alexandra Bessie has quite the story. She didn't always make the best decisions, I guess. I don't know. But according to information that I have received, her ex-boyfriend, the father of her child, is the gentleman that I mentioned before, Jamal Ibrahim. He threw the fundraiser for Mike Spano along with Akeem Jamal. What's interesting about him is simply this. He was arrested with 100 grams of cocaine and it disappeared. He was hanging out with Nick Spano, Mike Spano, as well as Akeem Jamal the night that Akeem Jamal drove drunk, caught the DUI, that again, for the most part, disappeared. Sure, he was sued by the victim that he hit, but guess what? The victim in the lawsuit failed to mention the fact that Akeem was drunk. Wouldn't you mention that in your lawsuit? I mean, that would be the nail in the coffin. But that goes to show the cover-up that occurs here in the city of Yonkers. The same cover-up that's occurring with Mr. Blue BMW and his family, who's the uncle that owned the car. The police will love for that to be made public. They want someone held accountable. A police officer died. And that goes to show to the Yonkers police officers, our men and women in uniform out there protecting us every day. Truly, what do you mean to these individuals that are in power? You want to take that gamble? One minute you're like, the next minute you're not. Well, currently, Alexandra Bessie is like her current fiance, maybe? Not sure if they're engaged, is a Yonkers police officer as well. Sources tell me that he has 2 lawsuits. These lawsuits that he got because of his performance while on the job. I'm not sure too much more of the details there. I'm getting more of that information, but they're wondering, how is this individual being selected for city court judge? With all this information, when there are other candidates that are much better selection. And at least, if anything else, can she at least gain more experience? What about those that are from the city of Yonkers, been here all their lives, love this city, who gave so much to the city, right? Why are they not being chosen? Why are they being overlooked? And this is the problem here in the city of Yonkers, folks. This nepotism, this family and friends network thing that often stifles other people's progress and accomplishments. It limits, restricts those from getting jobs here in the city, causing a income inequality-like situation where only a select few get these $100,000 jobs with the city, while others struggle to find work, remaining impoverished until they're pushed out by the luxury developers. That's all I'm saying, and I'm trying to just put you guys on. Your rent's going up. Your apartment needs to be fixed. IEPs are not being serviced correctly. The roads are crap. I'm sure a lot of people, not just me, have popped tires because of these potholes. Then they're talking about it at a meeting. Oh, we're going to do the patches. Patches suck. So, but people like Alexandra Bessie and others in the Family and Friends Network, the political party that I call the Republicrats, that small group of individuals that consist of Republicans and Democrats, a few Republicans, most of them have converted to become Democrats, but there's a couple that are still Republicans, like Mike Breen. He's a part of the Republicrats. He's a Spano operative, good soldier. And others that have held signs up for the Spano, but are Republicans. Why would you push for a Democrat to run again 4 more years if you're a Republican, rather than encourage your party to step up to the plate? Because it's one party here, and that's the Republicrats. They run everything. And Alexandra Bessie's a part of it. And regardless of what baggage she comes along with from Rockland County all the way across the bridge to the city of Yonkers, they're going to make her a city court judge, a $200,000 a year job. Wouldn't you just love that at a young age of 30-something years old? Because they just chose you. Someone's got pull. First, they bring you in. This is what they do. They brought her into the planning board, I believe. Is that where she's at, the planning board? Something like that? They brought her into one of those positions. You know, they got to kind of warm them up. Can't be totally out of nowhere, but it's totally out of nowhere. That's our current fiance, police officer. But how was she appointed and knowing it? She's going around telling certain people, but she's not supposed to be. That goes to show her immaturity and her lack of, preparedness, right? You're not ready. You're not ready. Somebody, look, I got this sent to me and it says below, previous child with Jamal Ibrahim, currently married to Peter J. Schwartz. And look, boom. Is that Frankie Jarris? Makes a lot of sense. Because I hear, Zahi Jarris, as I mentioned, is very active in the judges race game. And he gets judges appointed. I heard that Thomas Quinones had something to do with Ada Medina. But did that come by way of Zahi Jarris? And so there you go, that's the golf outing, the mayor's golf outing there. I mean, it's like right into the Republicrats, social political elite. They don't care about the average person. They don't. If you're not going to their galas, if they didn't give you a proclamation, right, you're not a part of them. If you got a job, it's because, you did something, right? If you knocked on doors or you donated. I was actually invited to this golf outing by Vinny Spano, but I didn't attend. He didn't remind me, or maybe he didn't want me to go. He just was saying, hey, I want you to be on my team. It was a foursome. I don't want to be in that foursome, though. So it's the Frank Jarris, the mayor there, Alexandra and her husband, and they're, again, the social and political elite, which made it nearly impossible for me to progress doing basement politics here in the city of Yonkers. So I'm making a sacrifice. You know, it's crazy that Vereshchako, her sister, works at Office of Children and Family Services, the agency that licenses all daycare centers. You don't think that she has to call in, you know, they called in a favor? Because like the judge in the Zahi Jarris corruption trial said, when you took the money, when you took the gifts, and when you accepted the properties, you basically opened yourself up for being asked for favors. And when that time came, you were going to have to give the favor. So even though that's not what they would want to do necessarily, but hey, I got to, you know, they asked me to do this, you know, let me see how I kind of sneak and make these people's lives difficult here because I'm in this position. Hell, I'm in it because they gave it to me. So I got to do it. I mean, they're everywhere. Building Department, Office of Children and Family Services, Child Care Council of Westchester. And they will use all their resources and network of family and friends, Republicrats, to come at you if you come at them. But they will come at you first. Who wants to start that war? But you can't say anything is unfair. Again, the Republicrats, the judges, it's all for show. It's all show. This is a club. This is like a, you know, a Hollywood crowd. Like maybe this is why they want to be the Hollywood on the Hudson. This is what they love, right? And so I'm going to do a podcast about it. So again, how does someone get appointed and they're not supposed to tell people? They've just been appointed. That decision's been made. And that's just what it's going to be. Vinny Spano knew about that months ago. Months ago. This is the text message here. And these are not made up. And that can be proven easily. Very easily. Very easily. I asked him, is Lakeisha going to become a judge? Because I was hearing that. To replace Velasquez, Elena Goldberg, Velasquez. He says, I don't think so. I think Bessie will get that. So they make these decisions. Right? So that's the way it works here in the city of Yonkers. That's politics. It's not fair here. It's no running a fair race. You got to be down with the family and friends network. So check it out really quick before I get up out of here, folks. The madness in Getty Square. The judge has been appointed that no one is supposed to know about. There's the a police officer. I think it's Papadopoulos. Is that how you say it? I'm sorry, officer, Lieutenant Papadopoulos, sitting today at the city council meeting, and hear what he has to say. And again, these people don't really support you guys, the officers. They front like they do because they know that the people love you. And they want to make sure that the people see that they love you too. Because if they love you too, then the people are going to love them, right? Because if they go against you, then the people's not going to like that. Right? So listen to what he says in regards to, theft, specifically of catalytic converters, but all theft that's been happening here in the city of Yonkers, because in-store theft has been a huge problem here. And let me know if you can't hear. I'm going to stop sharing. Actually, let me try to reset it again. I just want to make sure you guys can hear it. Listen to what he says.
And then also, to be perfectly honest, there is a correlation between catalytic converter thefts and the recently passed state legislation with bail reform. I have fancy charts here and graphs here that show a nice flat line, and then sometime in 2020, it skyrockets. So if we can, put the people who are committing these crimes in jail and let them know there are actually some consequences for stealing people's property, that would be helpful too.
Understood. It's just that, like I said, at the end of the day, if someone is pulled over and they happen to be in possession of them, that's what was the whole thing. Is just try to
Yeah, no, and to that respect, it'll be helpful. Yes.
just again,
Yeah.
And
Who can? Is it me or is Moranti sometimes hard to understand? Right? He's like that guy from Dick Tracy. Remember the movie Dick Tracy back in the day with Warren Beatty and Madonna? Right? Was it Mumbles or whatever? The Mumbles, like you're talking in circles all the time, Moranti. And I'd be like, like I don't get it. But Lieutenant Papadopoulos, I hope I'm saying this correctly, and I met him before. He gave me his card, and he sends me stuff sometimes in regards to what's happening with any press releases or whatever. He says, listen, if we've seen a correlation with between the increase in thefts of catalytic converters and the bail reform, the legislation being passed, the bail reform he's talking about. He goes, if we can arrest criminals and keep them in jail, that would help. Right? So he's basically saying, well, you guys, the elected officials, the legislators, need to legislate properly. Keep people that do crime in jail. If they know they're going to get right out, no bail, no nothing, no big deal, they're going to go back out and do it again. And this is especially true for people that are homeless and addicted to drugs. And I'll tell you why. They don't got nothing to lose. They don't have a damn thing to lose. They don't have anything to lose. So if they get locked up, no big deal. They're going to take the chance of stealing, especially if they need to get drugs. And then now that they are being released right away, if even arrested, whatever, they're taking more of the risk. They're stealing even more. They're like, if we get locked up, they let us right out. No big deal. We don't have to stay in jail, right? They don't want to get caught and then have to stay in jail, especially if they're addicted to drugs, because then they'll go through the withdrawal process. So that was a deterrent to keep it down. So again, now that you have bail reform and people are getting out of jail easy, especially with, individuals that are stealing to support their drug habit, they're going to be doing it even more. They're coming right out. So boom, so what? So what? We get locked up if we get caught. Boom. So what? They might not even arrest us. Boom. So what? Right? Because they're like, why are we going to arrest them? They're going to get right back out. They'll just take the stuff and tell them to get out of here. Right? So they're taking more chances. They're doing it even more. And who are the individuals that implemented that and have supported bail reform? And so are you going to, again, vote for these individuals again? Again, it's not about party. It's about crime. We need to keep crime down. We need to put people in jail. That was created as a deterrent, right? To deter people from committing crimes. But if they're not being put in jail and being kept in jail, what's the point? What's the point? The only way we'll get bail reform is if the politicians start becoming victims. Yeah, true. But then, they got all kinds of security, right? Mike Spano has a whole, I think he uses the entire Yonkers Police Intelligence Unit as his security detail. They're not getting robbed. And then the low-level ones, what are they robbing? Right? They're not really getting much. They're getting crumbs. They're doing the bidding just to have a title, really. Maybe a few little perks here, a car, because they can't, they need the car, right? So, I mean, if they become victims, but I think at that point it'll be martial law. The cops will start really, they'll start implementing even stiffer punishments against the people. That's what'll happen, right? We always suffer. We're never. It's like businesses. When prices of things go up, like the raw goods go up. The businesses are not gonna absorb that cost. They're gonna pass that down to the consumer, right, by increasing the prices. They're not going to absorb that. If they're getting robbed and stuff, they're going to find ways to just make it harder for us. Like when terrorists or whatever, have gone on planes and all that. Now, who suffers? We do. We go through all these long lines, taking off our shoes and, going through these machines and all that are evasive and, being touched up all over the body in the airport and stuff, So we always have to go through the changes. So, folks, I just want to come on and talk about those few things, give you a few little things of what's happening. That thing is crazy that actually happened in Getty Square when I saw that, I really couldn't believe that, but, again, I don't know if you remember that incident in the supermarket when the guys were stealing the shrimp and then they got beat up by the store owner. I don't say the store owners, it was store owner, but it was, employees that work for the supermarket. They're the supermarket that, people have alleged was connected to Dr. Casada. And if so, I don't understand why. So what? What if he has a business? You know, a lot of other people got businesses. So again, I'll play it. I don't know if you were able to hear the video.
What'd he do? What'd he do? What'd he do?
What's up with y'all?
What'd he do?
What's up with y'all?
What happened, brother?
Who just hit me?
Well, what'd he do?
Why you stealing shit?
He's stealing?
Yeah. It's right in your bag.
Take that shit from him. He's stealing.
I really don't like these. I don't.
Quítalo, quítaselo.
I'm not a, you know.
Quítaselo para que no cobren más.
I stole Omi Medina's GoFundMe.
Yo,
money.
give back what you stole, man. Give back what you stole. Is here.
So again,
All these people are
you'll hear him
stealing.
start calling his
And-
buddies. Watch.
These businesses here.
There goes his buddies.
Individual here stealing from stores. The store owners are having to chase them because there's no police here. They don't do
There
anything
were no cops.
to
There were
help
no
the
cops,
business
no.
owners here. And this is what they cause.
That's one of his buddies
See,
came.
this is the problem here in Getty
Another
Square.
buddy came. And so now they was ready to fight, but they ended up disappearing. I don't know where there's all these people watching here.
So how can you
Yeah,
have
we're
your
chasing.
business here?
And so I just think, you know, it's sad because they truly don't care about the small business owners there in Getty Square. They don't care about them. And most of them are, you know, minority business owners, you know, and they don't care about them. And they don't, you know, they don't make any efforts to have individuals, you know, removed from in front of their businesses where they loiter all day long. You know, they smoke the K2 stuff. That's what they smoke. And I say that specifically because that's exactly what they're smoking. That thing stinks, right? So imagine you're trying to go to one of the businesses and you smell that and you see that. You're not going to go anymore, you know? And so, you know, how does that affect them? They have to deal with that in front of their store there, but they don't care because, again, AMS buying up a lot of that property. You know, AMS is one of Nick Spano's Empire Strategic Planning clients. John Rubo's landlord, you know, and they don't care. Get them out of there. Get the small businesses out of there. Get the 99-cent store out of there. Get SNS out of there, or SNA, whatever it's called, right? They don't want that. They want to bring in, you know, the chain stores, the big name stores, and kick out all these small businesses, which, again, are minority owned. So that's why they're not doing anything. I mean, drive through Getty Square at any given day. Go tomorrow. Go tomorrow morning. Go tomorrow afternoon. Go tomorrow in the evening. It's just people lined up along the front of the stores, just sitting there, hanging out, smoking, right? Just don't care about the people that are passing by, the kids, the businesses. Incidents like this are happening. Nothing. You know, again, a lot of our high school students get dropped off there every day, and they have to be around that. And so how dangerous is that? We don't know who are these individuals. They're coming from other places into Yonkers, and then they're staying here for a little bit. So you have our kids, our babies, excuse me, coming off the buses there after they're being dropped off from coming, you know, after school, and they're all there. And, you know, you have girls and younger girls walking by, and even boys, right? And young boys. You know, God forbid, you don't know who any of these individuals are, what the drugs may do to them, the mental health, you know, conditions. I mean, literally everywhere in Getty Square, all through North Broadway, Main Street, Palisade, sitting in front of the stores, front of the properties that may not be, you know, currently occupied, hanging out there. You got the guy with the double amputee in front of Wells Fargo all day, every day, asking everyone that comes in and out for money. The double amputee guy in the wheelchair. I told him jokingly, I said, "You picked the right spot, man." Right? He catches the guy. I gave him a few bucks, so I gave him a couple of times. But then after that, I said, "Come on, dude. You know, what you do, man? You know, it's like what, I gotta pay a fee now? I gotta, you know, well, I don't pay a fee. I go to that bank, but what do you mean gotta pay a fee now? That's why I come in here. So I have to pay a fee at the ATM." Right? And so you're sitting here, the double amputee guy, and there's panhandling everywhere. Everywhere. And today I was I approached this guy. I went to talk to him just to show him a picture. I'm gonna get up out of here soon. You know, about yeah, no, right? About this guy that I've been looking for, right? You know, don't play me, man. Like I said, like I'm in it to win it, man. You know, I go a lot. I'm in the streets. I know people. You know, I know a lot in the streets, out of the streets, everywhere. Corporate world, you know, to the, you know, the thug world, you know, and you know, I got my guys, you know, out there, and so they spotted somebody I had been looking for, right? And so they called me up. They're like, yo, but I be meeting, you know what I mean? And so I said, okay. So I went over there, and I'm looking for this guy, right? And I couldn't find him though. They're like, oh, he just walked up the block 5 minutes. He's walking up and down. And then I go to the bando. That's what they call it. A bando is an apartment, is an abandoned building or an abandoned home that, you know, it's vacant, it's boarded up. And so you'll have, you know, drug addicts go in there, you know, homeless people who usually homeless drug addicts will go in there and they'll live in there, right? They'll go in there at night to, you know, to sleep and shoot up and stuff like that. It's right there, right next to an abandoned pretty much barbershop on Elm Street, right? It's the Bando barbershop, right? So I pull up over there because, you know, I'm from the streets, man. Like I seen it all, you know what I'm saying? And you, when you mess with my family, you know, I'm going to go, you know, all out. Like, you know, it's like that. What's that Nielsen guy, whatever that movie, when he goes look for his daughter? That's me. You know what I mean? And so I approached this guy with the picture. I said, you seen this guy? He was just around here. Dude had a needle in his hand, right? Like he's putting it away, a drug needle, right? He's standing in front of this bando, abandoned house right there on Elm Street that's boarded up. That's not even boarded up correctly. I mean, you can get in it, right? You can get in it. A kid get in it, right? And so what danger does that present to kids in that community? And let me tell you, you know, on Elm Street and all through the No Down Hill section of Yonkers, many kids get off those buses each and every day. You ever seen a bus stop on No Down Hill over there, Oak and Elm? Yo, just one bus lets off like maybe 20 kids, you know? And so there's a lot of kids, and they have to walk past this abandoned home where, you know, I just happened to see 2 dudes sitting on the porch, right? Like they own it, and they're just chilling in front of their porch, you know, and one of them had this drug needle, and I just looked at it, you know, but it doesn't shock me because, you know, growing up, this is what we saw, you know, on Buena Vista, crack vials all on the floor. And, you know, in the late 80s, you know, they had the different colored tops on them, right? You know, so it's nothing new to somebody like me. You know, I've seen all that. I've seen some of the worst, which is why I've always wanted to escape that, right? And I said, I got to go this way. I don't want to go that way. And my goal today is to help kids make the same decisions that I made. Well, the right ones anyway, right? You know, we're not perfect, but to help our kids get away from that. And it's just getting worse. And as the officer said in the PTA meeting yesterday, I'm sorry, Christopher Sapienza, actually the police commissioner, when someone said we need youth programs, right? We all say that. But here's something that I learned yesterday, actually, from Mr. Christopher Sapienza. The city of Yonkers has over 43 youth programs. 43, over 43. He said, I mean, how many more youth programs do you want to put? And so what does that tell you? What does that say? Obviously, they're not effective. And so who is supposed to oversee whether or not these programs that they are constantly funneling money to are actually making an impact and being effective? Whether it's homeless, you know, initiatives and task force, like Shanae Williams said, or youth programs. How effective are they? And this is what I've said, you know, we need to see results. If they're not producing results, then we have to try something different. And that's all I'm looking to do here in the city of Yonkers, is help bring something different. So why, Yonkers? Why? To the individuals, you know who you are, man. Why? Why have you created this? Rather than say, hey, let's help that guy. Let's help that guy. I mean, you obviously like my ideas. You're stealing them, right, Jose and Tasha? You know, going around with Santa Claus, giving out gifts. But see, here's what you guys don't understand. I didn't publicize it the way you did. I put up a video of it recently and stuff to show, because I guess I have to show people, because if not, then they'll say, you don't do nothing, right? So you have to brag about it, I guess you have. But I didn't take that video. That was someone else who happened to be walking by and saw me. And I didn't have people form a line. It's just that when people saw it, they all kind of started coming to me, but I didn't make them stand in line. I just, here you go, boo, beam. I paid for that out of my own pocket, with the exception of some of the gifts that were actually donated. No cash was ever given to me. Gifts were donated, but most of them I paid for, because the amount I got donated wasn't enough for me to really, so I went and bought my own gifts. And I wrapped out my staff, who I paid hourly rate, right, to work for me, to wrap them right on them, boy, girl, and I went out. And when I had Santa Claus, I had a guy dressed as Santa Claus, got the Santa Claus outfit and all that. And we went in Santa Claus's Lambo. Santa Claus let me drive. And I thought that was great. Thank you, Santa. That was my gift, right? And we gave out the gifts, and we, a woman and a bus driver stopped the school bus and told me to come inside. I started giving gifts, and I don't know if I was supposed to do that, but I started giving gifts to the kids in the bus. So to the parents, when your kid came home that day, had a gift off the bus, that was me. They said, "Who's that guy? What do you mean a guy came on your bus? Gave you?" That was me. That was me and Santa. I was helping. Santa gave it to him. I gave the gift because I'm his helper. You know what I mean? I do the work. So that's what we do. And instead of elected officials saying, we love that, let's join you and let's make it bigger and let's support you, what they do, they try to ice me out, X me out. They're going to do the same thing this year. And they piss parents off, because some parents complained to me the way that they did it. And they didn't like that. They said, oh, they still let some of their friends cut the line. Why you make people wait in line there? Just give it to them. Try to be as discreet as possible, right? But you guys put on a whole festival and all that of it. Tasha had a $93,000 aid. Let me show you. This is funny. It's funny to me. Yo, this guy right here is a character, boy. He is a character. Tell me Tasha Diaz, Brenton Bullock. And by the way, Maria George, the chief of staff to City Council President Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, is I think his godmother or something like that. They're related or something. It's all in the family. Everything's all in the family here, So, really quick, you can see Frank Jarrett's all in the. Oh, here we go. So this may be it. Is it? I don't know. They did this Three Kings thing too. This was a joke. This is a joke. Come on, folks. This was a joke. What the hell was this? This was a joke. Look at Jose Alvarado. Jose, like a little fairy Jose with that little. What is that? Right? So this is supposed to represent Latinos. Is this what you're doing for us? Really? Like, this is crazy. Like, this is a joke. This is what they do for us, though. I don't even know what I put. That was a joke. I just had to laugh. I said, what is this, man? What the heck is this? So they did the Three Kings thing. They drove around on a truck, and they were, playing some, I think Spanish music and stuff. They went by Main Street. They were over there by the park that they love to go to over there on South Broadway, the Lincoln Park or whatever. And I just think that that's an embarrassment to me. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, you're supposed to be paying homage to, like, they're not doing that with Jewish people and Hanukkahs, right? Are you guys going around dressed up in some kind of outfit with menorahs and stuff? Huh? Are you guys doing that? No. That's disrespectful to me, I think. I don't know, I just think it's like making a joke out of it. It's just unbelievable. Making a real joke out of it. So I didn't appreciate that. We're not clowns. Again, we're not clowns. This is I play the video here. This is funny.
Hello, Yonkers. What's going on? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
We are here. Hello, Yonkers. What's going on? Merry Christmas. We are here with Councilwoman Tasha Diaz, County Legislator Jose Alvarado, and Richie from the Cancer Society, and we are here in Lincoln Park right now.
Yeah, they're right there
Giving
looking.
out.
And-
Hello, Yonkers.
And I appreciate that, right? I mean, listen, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like, you know, why do you compete? That there's other people doing stuff. Why don't you get together and do something bigger for the community rather than compete, steal the ideas, and completely shut people out? Not acknowledge them and say, "Oh, that
Next
was nice
stop
of you."
is going to be Elm and Walnut. Elm and Walnut Street. So if you are looking to get some toys, remember that the child has to be present with you. Child has to be physically present. Come to Elm and Walnut. We are wrapping up at Elm and Linden, and we are going to be moving to the direction, to the location of Elm and Walnut. So we look forward to seeing you there. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Feliz Navidad. We love you, and God bless you, and we will see.
Yo, Brenton, you're a funny guy. Brenton's a funny guy to give you that. That was good. Feliz Navidad and all that. That was good, man. That was good. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't see any of the kids, right? Did you show what you were doing, or was it all about you and doing a little selfie there? Brenton, you know, don't be so self-absorbed. So, look, I did this last year. So why don't you say, hey, let's get together and do a big one? Because, you know, parents came up to me saying that when they got there, they were like, oh, it's too late. You know, we got to go to our next stop. Come meet us at the next stop if you can. Bring your kids to the next stop. And some parents like, where's the next stop at? Oh, we're going, like he was saying, we're going to Elm and this, that, or we're going to Lake or whatever. You know, so parents were like, kind of like, you didn't let us know or nothing. So, you know, like if you were going to be somewhere in 20 minutes or whatever, like it was just, don't do it like that, right? And usually they normally do it is where they had something where, you know, they would have a place, different places, and people would just go, right? So they knew where they could go, so people could, you know a time, know a place, and everybody go there, then another, you know, whatever. But now they wanted to drive around and just do it like a pop-up, right? Like a pop-up gift giving, you know, and it's cool, I guess, but you guys think it's too big. You had a truck and you had all these things. I mean, you're going to cause pandemonium and chaos, and you're going to get people upset when you dip off on them, right? So, you know, I did it more kind of, you know, low. I just had Santa pop up. We see a kid. Hey, you know, we got a gift. Oh, what gift is this? A girl age 9. Or we knew the age range, right? So we see a girl that age or a boy that age. Okay, boom. We pop up on them like this little girl here. You know, we happen to see her, I should say, walking by, and we just popped up. We said, ho, ho, ho. Well, Santa Claus did. Merry Christmas. Here you go. I got something for you, you know. Popped open the hood, because that's the trunk in the hood, in the front, trunk in the front. Gave her a gift. She wanted to take a picture with Santa. I said, cool. Well, actually, I took this picture because I wanted to show my wife. But then I said, let me put this up because you got to show what you do. This is actually on Elm right here and Walnut. Oh, no, it's not. It's Elm and Oak. Elm and Oak. I mean, the No Down Hill sent with Santa Claus. He let me drive his Lambo. That's not the convertible for you hating ass Ruros. And I'll tell, and there's a reason why I say that, but I didn't want to explain. It doesn't matter. From here.
See what's going on. See my nigga Freddie out here giving some way out the Lambo. Got Santa on deck. You know what I'm saying? Let him know, Freddie.
I don't need to talk. Doing here for the kids.
Oh shit!
Everybody started coming. And this is what I love to do. This is what I want to do. But I'm an individual. I'm not an elected official. I don't legislate, right? You guys should be worrying about legislating. Let us nonprofits do this for the community. Let me give back so I can say, hey, I was blessed. I want to give back because I've been blessed. Right? That's why I do that. I don't do that to be elected. I don't do that to make people like me, because I didn't even really talk about it, post it all crazy like the way they do. And by the way, Ruros, notice the other one I was in at the parade didn't have a spoiler. Stop being a hater, because I know you went back. Stop being a hater, and there's a reason for that. I ain't gonna tell nobody else, nothing else. That's it. Just if you don't know, you don't know, and there's a reason why you don't know. And Sam Pornstein or whatever your name is, I don't even care what you got to say, okay? You can just go where you know where the sun don't shine. Anyway, folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics, and I'm going to continue to do the show, because what they need to understand is that it doesn't matter what you guys say about me. People don't care about me. They don't watch Basement Politics because they care about Freddie. They watch Basement Politics because they want to know what you guys are doing. And so as long as you guys are doing what you're doing, I'm going to be reporting it and letting them know. Since you wanted to start this game, well, play the game. Doesn't matter what you try to do to me, threatening to destroy my business, is not going to be around. So what? So what? Look, I don't care. Don't care, right? And you want to try and get my wife fired? Is that what you guys are going to do? You're going to use your power to get her fired, even though she's an amazing administrator. Track record is impeccable. And so if, that's the route you go, that, people will know exactly what you guys are doing to us. Right? Because I would just love to, make some money. Because I'm just waiting for the setup. Thinking you playing with me? Like I'm stupid? I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I'm not going to pull the trigger too quick. You too, Pamela. Thank you. Pamela, you see? Somebody was saying that nobody cares about you. Somebody, look at the comments they write me. I'm going to tell you, let me show you what these people write to me. Let me show you what these individuals have been saying to me, right? The most disgusting thing, and I believe this one is Brandy. Jack Klein, they told me to rot in hell. Now, why? Why would you want me to rot in hell? Why? Because I said that the elected officials are not doing anything to clean up the city, to clean up Getty Square. The homeless problem is going, crazy. That why? Is that why you want me to ride hell, Pamela? I appreciate it. It was nice meeting you. Thank you. Thank you for your support. And again, I definitely want to, follow up on what you and I spoke about, right? And it has nothing to do with elected officials. So please, right? Something else. I definitely want to. But why are these people telling me to rot in hell? And why they're doing it anonymously? Right? I mean, this is what I'm dealing with, folks. These people are attacking me. I'm trying to load up this comment from this individual named Jack Klein. Let me know when your mother dies. I hope you rot in hell. Your business is going to be destroyed. You ain't going to have nothing. Your wife is divorcing you. She's having an affair. Your kids are not yours. You're not the father of your kids. Your wife needs some Italian sausage. They put a picture of my wife with a, penis by her face. And then they put it as if she's standing in front of her job. Right? Why? Because I'm speaking truth. So who, folks, who would have any motivation to do this? Who would be motivated to make such nasty comments, to falsely accuse me of selling bad heroin, paying a guy $300 to do it? Who? It's got to be them, right? Elected officials and people associated with them. Of course. Of course. And so we don't need to prove it. I don't need to show you right now the proof. Common sense tells you who it is. And so based on that, you should know who these people are. And it's time to get them out of office. Enough is enough. These people are cowards that have terrorized people. Don't you understand? Terrorized people who didn't conform to their corrupt ways. And if you challenged it, they literally would destroy people. And so we have to speak up, because if we remain silent, we're just as culpable. We're just as culpable. Right? And it's in me speaking out and others speaking out that we put this to an end, which is why they're saying some of the most disgusting things to me and attacking me and threatening me and hurting my business and using their connections to delay and stall, put me in the courts, ruin my reputation. This never happened to me until I started Basement Politics. Never was accused of selling heroin a day in my life or using it until I started basement politics and until very recently. And now it's caused me problems. But the more that you attack me, the more I'm going to be determined to do what I am doing. It's not going to deter me. It's not going to stop me. In fact, you're doing the wrong thing. You're doing the wrong thing. You want to, then you need to stop being anonymous. Reach out to me. And let's be real men and have a conversation. Look me in the eye, and I'll look you in yours. And we'll resolve this, hopefully. But if you're too arrogant to think that, you know, I'm beneath you and you can't reach out to me, then we'll see where this ends up. And we'll see who's the fool. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Everyone needs to spread the word. Pamela, spread the word. Make sure everybody's watching, Pamela. Everybody, especially what they're doing and what's been happening. We got to figure out that situation. That's crazy. But you know what's up. People know what's up. They're trying to remove a group of people out, little by little, utilizing their resources at various departments, specifically the building department, but other agencies and departments and stuff. And it's unfortunate, people. And look at the homelessness going on, the drug overdoses that they're keeping under wraps, right? Ruro's whole reasoning for putting that family on blast, or that woman on blast after she died, saying that she died of an overdose, was because there's an overdose or a fake drug or fentanyl epidemic here. And that's why he wanted to make people aware of it. Well, it's been happening. Why now? Because people got upset with you when you did that, right? We have an overdose problem. We have a fentanyl problem, fake. Yes, it's been here and I've been saying it. But it's not just in the pills. It's in cocaine even. It's happened to mechanics over on Riverdale Avenue. They thought they had cocaine. They had fentanyl. And they almost died. And what's going on with that? I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Share the podcast. We have to come out and vote this year. Unbelievable, folks, what's happening. But we have to come out and vote. Latinos, we must be united. Latinos, we must be united. Reach out to me. politicwithfred@gmail.com. politicwithfred@gmail.com. I don't do this to be famous, to be a podcaster. I do this to create change and to inform the people what's going on and hopefully help the people here in the city of Yonkers. And I hope that I've helped some. But I'm here to help anyone I can, and I want you guys to help me. This is Basement Politics. I'm Freddie Vasquez. We have to do this together. Reach out to me. We don't have much time. There's not much time. Thank you. And I hope you guys are getting some help with luxury apartments. How can it be luxury? That's security issues. You think they have security issues down on 5th Avenue? Over there along Central Park Avenue in the Dakota, where John Lennon once lived, although he got shot in front of it, right? But not inside of it. And folks are fearing for their safety inside. One woman said she, is being traumatized and scared to come out of her apartment because she don't know who may be in the lobby. Packages have been stolen. And recently they had individuals sleeping on the couches. There was a tenants meeting not too long ago to discuss what's going on. You know what it is? Let me ask that. I would like to know, just curious, how many people that were at this meeting were black? I'm just curious. How many were white? How many were Hispanic? I'm just curious. I'm just real curious. I want to test a theory that I have in my head. Anyway, folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez, where the luxury apartments are a danger to your safety. Down on Hollywood on the Hudson, where these politicians are all playing an act. Cut. It's over. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a beautiful, blessed night. Happy hump day.
Freddie wins.
Yo, Brian, how you doing, buddy? How's your wife? She don't even know anything you're doing, right, Brian? She don't know none of the disgusting thing you do on your page.
Freddie wins. Fatality. Freddie wins. Fatality. Freddie wins. Fatality. Freddie wins. Fatality. Freddie wins. Fatality.
Here's your opportunity to get your revenge. Retribution. Did someone do something to you? One of the elected officials? Top officials? City officials? Well, send me the information. Time to put them on blast.
Freddie wins.
Remain anonymous.
Fatality.
Create an anonymous email. Anonymous1000@gmail.com or anonymous500@yahoo.com or anonymous1@aol.com and send me the information. politicwithfred@gmail.com.
Freddie wins.
Here's your chance for retribution. Time to get him back anonymously.
No!
And you'll be creating change at the same time.